Hi guys, Sirena here. May 31st, 2025, and it's Saturday. I know I look a fright. I know. I'm still waking up. With Folgers, I don't have Folgers. Do I? No, it's something else. Hey, you know that commercial? The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. So listen. I was watching The Matrix last night. Matrix Resurrections. I needed to see that again. And then I paid attention to everything they were talking about. Everything they were saying, and I'm telling you what. And then when they showed the plaque thing for her ship, Bugs, it was Namaste, which is, Namaste is the goddess of memory and remembrance, right? Keeping the oral tradition in Greek mythology. She was the wife of Zeus, so they say, right? 111. So that was the name of her ship, which was established in 2274. But it said Mark 3, with the Roman numeral 3, number 19. So I looked that up, and that had to do with Judas Iscariot before they entered the house. So before he, turned Jesus over, right? Or whatever. There's only one thing I wrote down. There were so many things in that movie, So I'm going to go different. Yeah, let's go light, That's not so bad on my eyes. But when it came to when Bugs was talking to Morpheus in the modal, you'll have to watch it, Matrix Resurrection. You need to really watch it and pay attention. The symbolism in it is off the chain, off the charts. But what I found super interesting was the choice is an illusion. You already know what you have to do. See, he was an agent before he saw the things, and then, hunting sentience. I think sentients were machines. I don't know, but I think they're the machines that even like the I don't know, you'll have to watch it. I'm not going to get into all that, but taking the red pill of truth, waking up. I love the Matrix movies. Yeah, I hear you. They're like a documentary. I heard somebody say that. Well, I didn't hear someone say that, but telepathically, right? A notification came through. It's my daughter's birthday. The choice is an illusion. You already know what you have to do. Now listen. The reason why, and what struck me so, and that's why I'm sharing this, and then I got a bunch of shit I got to do. The kids are coming over today. So I'll be busy. Was that exactly 4/16? That's Mike's birthday. Thank you, Dad, for being here. Not my dad, but my children's dad. I call him Dad too. Anyway, we just always did that. We used to be Mom, Pa, Kettle. Mama Bear and Papa Bear. But anyway, so I've struggled with this, and I've said this even years ago, and now it makes perfect sense to me. 444. It just kind of lined it all up, put everything in perspective, into line for me, because it feels like there's a choice, but for me to follow my my path. Like, I can choose not to, but I don't think I can. And that's where I was getting stuck, because I was like, like in talking to my kids and other people, I'm like, I have to deliver messages. I have no choice. But they're like, yeah, you do. And I'm like, no, I don't. But I thought we were here with choice and free will. But I guess the part that it really is about is not the choice to go right or left, or to follow the path or not. I mean, I don't know. I've just always felt like I'm not making any sense. I'm trying to say too much rather than just speaking plainly. And that's what I've got to learn as well. But as far as my path and doing what I'm doing, no. Every time I've said, fuck this, I'm not going to do this anymore, I have to. I get on here and I shoot videos anyway. When I lost my tooth, I was like, that's it, I'm fucking done. There's no way. And I cried for 2.5 days. I mean, it was sad. And it's still sad. But it's for a bigger reason. It's for a bigger reason, right? There's more to it than that. If I want it, I can get something to put in there probably, But why would I waste money on that when that money could be used to help so many people? I know I got to help myself, or I don't know. But what comes up a lot is walking the path of Jesus, and walking the path, Jesus was homeless, lived in the streets, all up in the streets for his ministry, right? For him to get the word out. And, how wonderful. How wonderful is that? But the choice is an illusion. You already know what you have to do. Do you guys feel that way? You feel like, I'm just going to not do this anymore. But something inside of you, your soul, has drove you, has kept you, has pretty much made you continue on this path, on this journey. The illusion is the choice. You don't. Now, we're talking about Morpheus, we're talking about Neo, we're talking about Trinity, we're talking about key players, right? Morpheus is the one that had to wake up Neo, and Bugs, they just kept searching because she knew Neo was still alive. And see, Neo and Trinity they were killed, they were rebuilt, they were remade, they were put back in a pod and back into the Matrix. They looked different. All of this is symbolic. It gives me a lot, Neo says, I've never, thought I was the one, but Trinity always believed in me. So, and when those two, every time those two come together, major change happens, right? So then it's like that whole twin flame thing. It's like Jesus and Mary Magdalene I just got. Interesting. And, and being in the game, and then Agent Smith being in there. And Agent Smith liked being in that world, being in the Matrix. He didn't want to be back to where it was, so he wanted to destroy the doctor, right? It's funny, he had a cat named Deja Vu with the bell. So, but, they were feeding Neo blue pills, right? Because he wanted to jump off. It's just, there's so much in it. I'm sorry, you guys. I apologize. I'm not quite with it. What I do find interesting is dreams. So those of you who want to call yourselves, chosen ones or whatever, the Neos and the Trinities, they're like, I never believed he was the one. Well, how could he be the one and then be killed? And then nothing work out? God, it's all so symbolic, right? Right? It's giving that total Jesus vibes, right? This is the Work Your Light Oracle card guidebook. But they just came to change the world. And they talk about twice before. They talk about them doing that twice before. So this is like the third time. So it's giving that whole... Yeah, it's pretty much... Yeah, journey of the soul. Can't make this shit up. It's this deck, you guys. Rebecca Campbell. So, the choice is an illusion. You already know what you have to do. And, yeah, taking that leap of faith. Going out on a limb. I saw the sun today. So, this morning I was outside. I don't know, it was before 8. And the sun is so pretty. It's like orange. Instead of just white like it has been. What I love about that movie too, was it that movie or something else? But you don't remember what the color is. The modal. So he made a modal, and that's where they were in, and it kind of mimicked. Because he knew the truth was out there. The truth is out there. That's given me that whole, what was that? The X-Files, right? The truth is out there. So, I'm going to stop there. Man, I feel kind of out of it. What is that? Why is that no in there? Wait, postpone, pause, say no. So, thank you. What I was getting with that is, I don't know, today perhaps, I don't know, they don't ever give me a time frame, but, well, maybe today, but soon there's going to be something maybe presented to you, and this is where you're going to have to make a decision. This is where you're going to have to really go inside and use your intuition, because I can't say too much. I can't say too much. You're gonna have to use your intuition, and this is what's going to break you, whether you're in the matrix or you're in your real life, so to speak, okay? The journey of your soul, okay? And yeah. That's all I'm allowed to say. That's all I'm allowed to say about that. You're going to have a decision to make. And it's going to be, in Rama, path of your soul. It's the soul path, walking the footsteps of like Jesus did, or being more like, I guess we could say, I don't want to say Pharisees because it doesn't have anything to do with religion. Or you want to be like the kings of the earth. Are you going to want it? It has to do with gaining the world rather than gaining things in heaven. Okay? And if you want to know, what did Jesus do? What did Jesus do? He walked, slept outside, taught, healed, helped, served. They helped people do things. And in return, maybe they got food, maybe they got shelter, you know? But it wasn't, let me go claim a throne or something, you know? You know what I mean? Let me go live in lap of luxury like the Old Testament, like those of the Old Testament. But then again, if you don't know by now, then you realize that that's the lowercase g, the gods, the people. Because I'm going to tell you what, listen to this. Do you think God, let me ask you this. Do you think God, the creator of all things, well, which is just source light, but for the sake of people in this day and age, we'll just say God. Okay, the one, the source. We'll just say that. Want you to kill animals and sacrifice things? Do it. It's not a man. It's not a woman. Let's just take gender out. Let's just say it's both genders. Let's just say it's not a gender at all. It's just pure source light. Want you to sacrifice animals? Why would you kill an animal? Why would, and you don't bow down and worship. I'm sorry, you guys, but most people are really worshiping because it's not about worship. Because it's pure source energy that goes back to itself. It doesn't want to be worshipped. It just wants you to release its particle back home to itself. Okay? But do you think they want you to sacrifice an animal? Because animals have souls too. Animals are part of that. Think about it. I don't know why anyone, when I was a kid, this is why going to church, I loved singing the part about Jesus and stuff like that. I loved, the singing with it. Jesus loves me, this song, things like yeah, I can't go into church with ball my eyes out, really talking about how much I love Jesus, because that's the soul part of me. That's the trust your niggle. That's your I don't know, not yours but mine. Yeah, it's your soul family. So Jesus came to separate, to divide. And that's what we're going through now. Most people will only see things from their human perspective, not from a soul perspective. I live from a soul perspective mostly. I say I do, but who knows if I really do or not. You know what I mean? Because I am in the Matrix. And I find it interesting that they had him, they were telling him he was crazy. Neo, Mr. Anderson, they were telling him he was crazy, putting him on pills, but he was really remembering when he was Neo. And he made a video game about it. Okay? Oh my God, Path to the Soul again. Or Journey of the Soul, right? And so they put him on those blue pills. They put him on drugs. And can't you see that in our world now? They put you on medication. If you say you hear something other than whatever, they're like, oh my God, you're schizophrenic. Or you're a receiver like me, or they call them empaths or whatever. And you feel other people's shit, and you're like up and down, up and down, up and down. Unbeknownst to yourself that you're an empath. People love labels. Right? That you receive information, that you feel others' energy. Empath is not a receiver, I don't think. I don't know. Fuck, I'm not getting into all that. But then they call you bipolar. Or depressed. Well, yeah, I'm depressed. Well, I'm not depressed, but, yeah, I'm hurt and I have feelings of this. Horrific things have been done to me. Yeah. So, I might have issues with, emotions every now and then. Well, let's just put you on drugs. Oh, you're ADHD. Really? Because I was on asthma medication. Fucking duh. Hello? I'm sorry. Doctors are stupid. They don't know the first thing about the fucking human. They just know how to prescribe medication and do surgeries. That's it. You know if you know. They can't help it. They're stuck in the matrix too. They're one of the bots. When they turn on the swarm thing, then all the bots work for them. Maybe we can call that, isn't that being like a zombie? I mean, everything is symbolic, baby. But guess what? Who wins at the end and builds a new whole life? They redo the Matrix. Neo, Trinity, given another chance. They kept them close to each other in their pods. They kept them close enough because they were talking about how they get all their energy. They feed off of them. They run the whole Matrix. The whole Matrix runs off of them being in the pod. Symbolic. All of it. You already know what you have to do. And that's why you've stayed on this. And that's why you're fighting for it. That's why you're standing strong. That's why you see what others can't see. That's why you're moving back to where you once belonged. And I just saw 2222. So you either get it or you don't. But I'll tell you right now, you already know what to do. Bro and sis, I love you guys. Hey, thank you for being here. Namaste. And I'm not going to put my human into it. I'm just going to sit here and go, what came out needed to come out for whoever needed to hear it. And have the most blessed day. I love you. Peace. And watch what the sun's going to be doing. The earth is about to crack wide open. I love you.